the day has finally come for me to talk about this topic. A topic that many of you guys have been asking me my opinion on, which basically is about some of the top players, especially from Europe, who have started quitting Pokemon Go. And it's definitely due to some of the decisions that Niantic has made to make them want to make this choice to quit the game also. I was told about this news like almost 2 weeks ago already. My girlfriend Princess actually informed me about this from social media, especially on Twitter, because that's where most of the Pokemon Go information are obtained from. However, it's only now that I decided to make a video on this to talk about it, because I did not want to seem as if I'm trying to monetize on a trending topic at that point of time. So hence why I delayed it by 2 weeks to talk about it, to give my thoughts and opinion about this whole situation. So there are a few things to talk about. First of all, before we go into it, hi to all of you guys. But today's video is going to be quite a down one, I would say. But basically 2 weeks ago, when Princess and I were still in Thailand, she actually informed me right after the two top players actually tweeted out that they're going to quit Pokemon Go already. I was very shocked. I, including the whole Pokemon Go community, we were shocked to our, I guess, bones or whatsoever. Sorry, I don't have any proper descriptive words to describe all this, but all I can say is during that point of time when she showed me the tweet, I was kind of lost for words, because it's just very emotional to me when someone actually quits Pokemon Go, let alone being one of the top players in the game, to actually stop playing the game. Made me feel even more hurt. And those are the two players whom I've not met in person in real life yet. So that makes it even worse. Well, for those of you who do not know who I'm talking about, well, I mean, if you guys are also wondering how come this place has so many Snoopys, it's because we are at our accommodation here in Malaysia, in Genting, and there are a lot of Snoopys around us, because this Airbnb specializes in Snoopys, and we were hoping it to be Pokemon, but that's how it is. A lot of Snoopys, even the cutleries here, they are all Snoopys or whatever. But the two players whom I'm talking about, in fact 3 players, they are all from the European region, and they are indeed the top players in the world. I'll show you guys over here. This is where we are at. No Pokestops, no nothing, but oh wow, okay, Chansey just came out. Go Blast, do your job, thank you very much. I won't even bother to catch it. Let's go to Twitter. I'm gonna type Helsinki trolley. So Helsinki trolley, with over 2 million Pokemon caught during his entire Pokemon Go career, he's one of the top players in the world. Alright, he specializes in being a completionist, meaning perfectionist and completing everything. If you guys do not know, he's actually the first person in the world to have obtained every single possible platinum medal even to date. And even when level 50 first came out 2 years ago in the month of December, he actually strived towards getting it also. In fact, I actually did give him some tips on how to complete some of the medals also, especially the one that you needed to catch your own Lure Pokemon at that point of time. But now it's actually when you place down a Lure, you anyone who catches from that Lure, you actually add to the count. Alright, so he actually quit the game like a couple of months back. It was I believe before the 29th of June that he really quit the game, and he said that 2.3 million Pokemon was enough for him, and it's due to Niantic's horrible game development and attitude. And it's been so much fun to get out there and do other stuff, I guess. I mean, I must say, when I actually take a break from Pokemon Go, so it is really indeed fun to actually do other stuff. And I actually did realize that, oh wow, I actually am spending so much time on Pokemon Go that I forgot that I actually had so much time to do on other stuff also. So he actually tweeted out like on the 5th of July, which was roughly 2 weeks ago, stating that, bro, I really did quit. And he showed his distance, walk 0 kilometers. You can see over there on the bottom left. That's indeed his main account. Maybe you guys can say it's photoshopped or whatsoever, but I trust a player like him to say that when he quit, he totally quits. Because I, for one, if I'm also going to quit the game, I will actually totally not even touch the game anymore. And of course, given the kind of decision that has been made from him or any of the players, I of course will give them the full respect for whatever they have made in terms of that decision and wish them all the best. But also at the same time, not want to call them to come back to the game or ask them why do they quit, or like basically asking them to continue to play Pokemon Go anymore when clearly they don't enjoy the game anymore. Alright, so Helsinki Trolley has been asking all sorts of questions or whatsoever, but one thing that he actually mentioned, which I kind of feel like it's kind of a salty remark, is he said this: as long as you pay anything to Niantic, you are part of the problem. Hashtag Pokemon Go. So, well, during the point of time when you were playing the game still Trolley, you were spending in the game, you were raiding, you were doing remote raids. We did remote raids together a couple of times also. You were spending at that point of time, but after quitting the game and you saying all this, I think it's kind of hypocritical. So I wouldn't say such things, even if I've quit the game or even if I've decided to not spend on Pokemon Go. Example, during the month of hashtag Heras Niantic last year in the month of August, I stopped playing the game. I mean, I stopped spending on the game. Did I actually say to anybody who are spending on the game that they are part of the problem or they're creating any more problems? No, I did not. It's your own choice whether you want to spend or not to spend. It's your choice whether you want to play or not to play the game or anything in life. Alright, so that's Helsinki Trolley. Like I said, he's from Finland, he's from Helsinki. I actually would want to pay a visit to him, to visit him and his community, to play with him. I've been to Helsinki before during the year 2016, and that was just before I hit level 40, I think around the month of October, the first week of October. And I actually enjoyed myself there, caught my very first Mr. Mime or so, and like I said, I was level 37, grinding up to level 38, and then when I came back to Singapore, finally grind up to 39 and then level 40. Alright, so that's one of the players who have actually quit, but the other two players are the more prominent ones whom I would really like to mention. Let's mention Dabrin. Alright, Dabrin is one of the top players in the game. He's the 7th player in the world who reached 1 billion XP and the 3rd player to reach 3 billion XP. He's super duper hardcore in a sense that if you guys see, he has actually power up over 400 maxed Pokemon. When we give the definition of max Pokemon, we don't talk about max level 40, we talk about max level 50. So he has maxed out over 400 level 50 Pokemon, and he's a perfect IV collector. In fact, he's the one of the very few people in the world who has a full collection of 100% IV legendary Pokemon. I myself don't even have that. Example, I'm lacking a Zelf, I'm lacking some of the legendaries that I couldn't get 100% of, but he has every single one of them, and he will normally raid until he will actually get it, or he will trade for it. And the thing about him though, he has also reached Season 1 rank 10, basically legend for Season 1 in the Go Battle League, really hardcore player. So he hit 3 billion XP just on the 25th of June this year, and he showed his stats and whatsoever, really hardcore player. However, on the 6th of July, he actually made an announcement together with the other player whom I'm going to mention about later on. Over here, he said, "Dear Pokemon Go community, I'm sad to announce that my brother Melee Magron and I decided to quit Pokemon Go. It has been a long journey and a stressful one in the end. We always endured many things together, even though we tried to stay positive here on Twitter. But we are not having fun anymore playing this game. The main reason being, simply put, Niantic. The company does not focus on anything which makes a game fun, but mostly on how they can make a profit out of it. As gamers, we are not satisfied with how Niantic has executed the game. The best thing that happened with this game was the hunt for the perfect IV, the Trail crew in Copenhagen community was something that we will never forget also, and the awesome Twitter community, small things like that, when X-Rate passes error patch, expose all the cheaters when we found glitches, exploit and the best counters for raid bosses, and theory crafting on them. We wish everyone the best in the future, and hopefully we still can manage to keep contact with the Twitter community in here." So when I read this message from Dabrin, from Magron also, I had to control my tears. In fact, right now as I'm making this video, I'm also controlling my tears. And for me and Dabrin wise, we have actually been conversing, especially during the pandemic. He and I, we did even converse before the pandemic, and we do talk a lot about strategies a bit here and there. And I told him that I would like to go over to Copenhagen, to Denmark, to visit him and his brother. And he told me that his brother, Melly Macron, all right, the second person who reached 3 billion XP in the world, is his real life brother. And definitely I'd like to meet them in person. All right, they have actually attended the Pokemon Go Fest in Berlin, Germany, which, realizing that this is their way of ending their career, their Pokemon Go career, it made me even sad. And I told Princess that I regretted deeply to not have attended the Berlin, Germany Go Fest even more. But I have my own agenda this year, and hence why I didn't want to go for any of the Go Fest. In fact, the one in Seattle also, I'm not going for it because we have our own personal trip to settle, which is, to be honest, more important, as I'm trying to build her travel portfolio for the future. But next year I told Princess that regardless of whether she's able to make it or not, I will be going for all the Go Fests all around the world. So Manny Macron, they actually went together. Manny Macron and Dabrin met up with some of the top players in the world, whom I also have met and know in person also. Yep, but it's kind of crazy that this thing has actually happened. Alright, I did reply to Dabrin on his tweet and whatsoever, but Princess did say to me that there's also another reply from him, which I have not actually read. Don't remember where my tweet went to. It's over here. So I actually replied to the both of them. I really told them that I really would like to meet them in person when I actually do go over to Copenhagen, Denmark. However, I did say that for me to meet a player, a trainer, at their peak when they're still playing Pokemon Go, that's more satisfying to me, and that is something that I really prefer to do than after they have quit the game. Especially when they have achieved so much in the game, and those are some of the things that a lot of players, myself included, can't even achieve, since the way they play is really, really super duper hardcore. But this is actually the first time I'm reading this comment. Princess actually read the comment out loud to me, the reply that Dabrin gave to me, using my phone. She said, "Thanks, Brandon, for the heartwarming words. Ends bittersweet, but we had to do it. You are always welcome to Copenhagen to pay us a visit. That's one of the feats we might actually be missing. Meeting you. Take care, man, and good luck with your content." Well, that's also a feat that I'm also missing. Meeting the two top brothers in the world. Yeah. Dabrin and Macron, which, like I said, I truly regret not going for the Go Fest to meet them in person. I did tell myself, though, if I actually go for the Go Fest, I would actually pay a visit to them in Denmark, in Copenhagen, just to see how they actually play over there, their playground, their grind spot, and how they rate and whatsoever. Definitely I would do that for at least 5 days or even a week. Unfortunately, that may not happen anymore because, once you actually drop out from the game, you don't really feel like playing the game as hard as before already. So hence, I understand that even if I'm going to visit them next year, they may not want to play the game as crazily as before, which I totally get. But as for the other player whom I'm talking about, Melly Macron and I, we actually have added each other on Pokemon Go a couple of times, and then we remove each other, including Dabrin also. We have added and removed each other just to increase our idol medal a few times. And he is actually the second player in the world who reached 1 billion XP, also the second player to reach 3 billion XP in the world. But to be very honest with you guys, after talking about all their stats or whatsoever, when it comes to taking your hands off Pokemon Go, it doesn't matter whether you reach 3 billion XP, 5 billion XP, 10 billion XP or whatsoever. The legacy that you leave behind will still be left over there, but the things that you bring along with you, like your friendship and other memories that you bring along with you, that's the most valuable thing that you can't buy with money or even with whatever things, man. So that's something really intangible that you can keep for the rest of your life, and that's something that I actually wished I actually did get to experience with the both of them in person. So like I said, Melly Macron was the third person to reach 3 billion XP on the 1st of May this year. And then he also tweeted out the same thing, the exact same thing from his brother. In fact, he just retweeted his brother's post. But he said this: I wouldn't have kept on going for this long if it wasn't for the Twitter community. I feel like I have achieved way more than what I wanted with this game. Pokemon Go community, 11 out of 10. Niantic, you guys saw over there, poop out of 10. I totally agree with it. The thing about Niantic though, they have been really, really bad in terms of keeping the community satisfied or happy. That I fully understand, because whatever things Niantic does will make the community really unhappy. However, there are really, really some dumb and stupid and insensible and things that doesn't make sense to me, choices that they have made. But it's just truly sad that people like Melly Macron or even Dabrin or even some of the top players have decided to quit the game because of the company, the game developer, and not because of other reasons. That's really, really sad. So I've replied to Melly Macron. I and him don't usually talk much, but I do talk to Dabrin from time to time. And Melly Macron, I just told him that I'm greatly saddened by the news from him and his brother, but I'd like to wish them all the best. But I would definitely will make a trip to Denmark to visit the both of them, regardless of whether they still play Pokemon Go or not. Yep, that's what I would definitely do next year. Yep. But another thing though, just like to tell you guys a bit of a backstory with me and the three players. Me and Helsinki Trolley, we have added each other on friends on Pokemon Go before. We have built up the best friends, and we have raided together a couple of times. However, with me and Dabrin and Melly Macron, like I said, we have added each other and like built our friendship up a few times before. Even Auntie Gladys and Anne and a few of my friends from Singapore have added the both brothers before. And we know how they play. I know how they play. I know that they play very, very hardcore. They are super duper hardcore. The way they theory craft and the way they play is just insane. It's one of those things that a lot of players would think that they are cheating in the game or not playing it right. But I can see for a fact how intelligent, how knowledgeable, how skilled they are to reach the level they are at. I can tell you guys a bit of a story though. When remote raids first came out last year or 2 years ago, Melly Macron and Dabrin, in fact Dabrin was the one who actually communicated with me to tell me all this, that they were very lost. The two brothers, they were very lost in terms of not knowing what to do, because when they used to raid really hard before remote raids were out, they felt that them reaching 1 billion XP was an achievement alone before remote raids were available. However, after remote raids were available, they felt like, the achievement that they have done previously before remote raids were available were all gone. But I told them this, that for them to have actually reached 1 billion XP before, a lot of people, and in fact before remote raids were available, is a feat of its own, and it's the legacy that they get to live with. And that's something that I remember for life about them. So even when they reach 1 billion XP and they have already gotten remote raids available, they were unsure if they wanted to raid as hard as before, because spending so much on the game, it can be really, really painful on the pocket, and that I fully understand for a lot of people, myself included. Don't take it as if I have unlimited amount of Pokecoins, but it still hurts at times. But my point is, for them, they couldn't raid as much as those people who were like swimming with money. So hence they felt like eventually those people with like unlimited or like way more deeper pockets than them could actually catch up on them. But when I spoke, and in fact they were quite demotivated at that point of time when the first few months after remote raids were released. Then I told Dabrin, I said that for me, my goal is to get Candy XL. I don't really bother about raiding. I do what I enjoy doing, and I told them the same, that they should be focusing on the things they enjoy doing. Dabrin's enjoyment is to hunt for 100% IV Pokemon, get the 100% for the legendary, and max the Pokemon, max the top counters for raids, and of course playing PvP, etc. So I told them to focus on that. Eventually they started picking up and started doing a bit of remote raids also, and they also told me to say that it's very difficult for them to receive raid invitations because they don't really have really good contacts, because they usually play kind of within themselves at that point of time within their small little community in Copenhagen, Denmark. And especially, when you play a game to this level, it's very hard to form a community, myself included, for me to actually play the game to this level and yet still try and be with the community is a bit hard. And I always try and lower myself to talk to people, to try and understand things. But like I always say, everybody plays the game differently, and for them to play the game that hardcore, in a way they are pulling themselves away from other people, and that I fully understand. So eventually, for them to want to find people to actually play the game together, I actually gave contacts of people from Australia, from other countries, to both of the brothers, so that they could add those people from overseas, including my friends from Singapore, from Malaysia, and wherever, and they could raid together consistently also. So that's one thing I did to actually help the two brothers. And when it came down to talking about other things, there were a lot of things that we spoke about, and it was just truly remarkable to see how the two of them actually play and know about how they play, not just from them but other people also. I have never personally met them, like I said, and even seen how they play, but I can see from how they actually do raids and how they actually talk online, to know how skilled, how knowledgeable they are. One example that I can give you though is a raid that I did with them. It's just the three of us. The thing was, I was going after a Mewtwo raid. At that point of time, remote raids were available already, obviously, otherwise they wouldn't be able to do the raid with me. So I sent invitations out to 5 of my friends to this last Mewtwo raid. This Mewtwo raid, I think it was a Mewtwo. I can't remember what raid it was, but I'm trying to recall whether it's a Mewtwo or what. But I'm very sure it's a legendary raid, definitely. Eventually, I sent the 5 raids out to 5 of my friends, 5 invitations out to 5 of my friends. I'm sorry if I'm stumbling in my words because, 5 of my friends, and only the 2 of them came in. The raid boss was left with less than a minute to despawn. Okay, at that point of time, when remote raids were available, when the raid boss despawns, and you actually receive a raid invitation, and you actually have your 6 Pokemon fainted, you cannot re-lobby anymore. Meaning you get kicked out onto your map, and you cannot re-lobby anymore. So that's something I know, and that's something not many people knew at that point of time, because I think it was just 2 or 3 weeks after remote raids were available, and that glitch was still happening. Now it has already been fixed. So I was worried for the 2 of them when they came in. I was thinking, oh my god, okay, I mean, if they were to have their 6 Pokemon fainted before we take down the raid boss, they cannot catch the raid boss, but I can actually re-lobby because I am not receiving a raid invitation. If you use your remote raid to throw in by yourself at your gym, and then the raid boss despawns and your 6 mons faint, you can actually re-lobby during that point of time. However, if you are remotely invited, you cannot re-lobby if your 6 Pokemons faint. So like I said, the raid boss has already despawned, and I was very worried for the 2 of them whether they would actually notice it. I was very surprised. What happened was, I did the raid. I knew I didn't need to dodge because my 6 Pokemons could faint. However, after the raid boss went down, it was pretty close. I'm very sure they were on their 5th or last Pokemon, but I had already used up to my 9th Pokemon because I didn't dodge. They were dodging the charge moves of the raid boss, and after that they were able to catch the raid boss and whatsoever, and I immediately messaged Dabrin. I said that I'm very impressed by the 2 of them because they actually noticed the timer of the raid lobby, that the raid boss is about to despawn, even having the knowledge to know that they have only those 6 Pokemon to use, and after those 6 Pokemon faint, they cannot catch the raid boss anymore, and hence they decided to do dodging. And I really salute to them for doing that. That's something that not many players would actually notice and do, actually. So that really surprised me, and I was really impressed by that one single raid that we 3 did together. And another thing though, the 2 of them, especially Melee Magron, he always power up shadow Pokemon, very strong shadow Pokemon. So I knew their shadow Pokemon would faint like super duper quickly and easily, but they still managed to take down the raid boss and still catch that particular raid boss with me. But other than that though, like I always say, they are really the most hardcore brothers in the world, and I regret not meeting them in person. But also at the same time, they really use the top counters and whatsoever, and power up the best Pokemon in the game. And seriously speaking, I would say that even Melimagron and Dabrin, both of them combined together, they are more hardcore than me playing it alone at times. Yeah, especially knowing some of the knowledge that they have received and the skill that they possess. I would say they are more knowledgeable and skilled in certain sense in the game. But you can't know everything, and even if you know everything, I'm very sure tomorrow there'll be another thing for you to learn. So hence why I treat it as if every day is a day for me to learn, and for me to meet players like them is another chance for me to learn a lot of things. I just do wish that when I travel again to meet the other players, I get to meet a lot of the other top players and get to learn more things in the future, because I've been losing that opportunity to do so, especially since I missed out the Go Fest, and in fact having the chance to meet the other top players to learn a lot more things to actually improve my knowledge and the skill in this game. But before I end off though, I'd like to just say a few words to Trolley and also the two brothers. Trolley, I'd like to wish you all the best, bro. I know that it's tough, especially for the last 6 years of playing this game so hardcore, but yet time to let go of the game. But I understand where you're coming from, but I do hope that Niantic actually does something positive. But there's only so much that we can bear, and I guess that's your limit, and I understand where you're coming from, but I wish you all the best, bro. As for Dabrin and Magron, I also like to wish the both of you the best in whatever you two do. The two of you have been really, really awesome and crazy top hardcore players in the world, not just in Pokemon Go, but in the previous games that you guys have been playing, World of Warcraft and whatsoever. And I know you guys are really, really hardcore gamers, not just in Pokemon Go, because you guys play so many other games like even Final Fantasy, etc., even Ultimate Smash Bros, etc. I really take my hats off to the both of you, truly. Salute to the two of you, and I really do wish to meet the two of you in person in the future. But other than that though, to Niantic, seriously, please wake up. Yep, a lot of things needs to be changed, especially now knowing that a lot of your players are really, really unhappy. Likewise for a lot of the top players, I myself ain't happy with some of the decisions that you have been making, but I decided to just let it go, let it slide and whatsoever. I would dare say that a lot of us can agree with this statement. If it's not for Pokemon, if it's not for the Pokemon company, a lot of us wouldn't have continued playing this game anymore, because we love Pokemon. Alright, Niantic, I understand you got the rights to actually use the Pokemon, use the characters. Congratulations. Hopefully you can make good use of it to keep your players in the game and not to drive them away. Alright, and other than that, I really, really wish everyone all the best also. And yeah, it's been a long 6 years, and I just hope another 6 more will come. And I don't wish to make another video like this in the near future where I hear another top player quitting the game or whatsoever. Hopefully not from me. Hopefully not from me. Not so soon yet. I think. Alright. Well, I'll see you guys in the next episode, in the next video. Goodbye.